you is if you have ambition to be great. My job is to coach you to get all that greatness out of you.
What's good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason. We are back here for another one on a day that was full of a lot of positivity, man. A weekend that was full of positivity. I mean, all of you that happened to make it out to the Luau with Tua, I call it the Luau with Tua. My wife's like, it's a luau. I'm like, yeah, but it sounds better when I call it a Lua. But with the Luau with Tua, if you were able to make it, first of all, I'm jealous. Second of all, what a time that seemed like. We're going to talk about that. I got a couple of videos I want to show about it. Actually, I got a video from a news station I want to play, contrary to a video that the Dolphins just released I want to play, because there is a parallel in the two videos that I find quite eye-opening. So I'm going to play those for you. I got a really interesting article on The Athletic that's obviously behind a paywall. And it's just regarding what NFL execs are saying about every team's offseason. And the stuff they say about the Dolphins is pretty intriguing. So I want to show you guys that. Pro Football Talk continues their little agenda with Tom Brady. We'll go over that quickly. The Jets continue swinging and missing, and it's beautiful for us to watch. We'll talk about that. I want to go over Marvin Allen's video today. He actually talked about some little scouting notes regarding Jaylen Waddle, Robert Hunt, Tua Tagovailoa, so I want to go over all that, and Raekwon Davis as well. Well, that's only like a 10-minute video. And then if you guys happen to miss it, because I imagine a lot of people were working when it dropped today, appreciate you, Highly. Appreciate you, my dude. We are actually about to crack. We're about 11 away from 7,600, so we're getting close to 8K. Let's get to 10K by the beginning of the season. What up, everyone? K Jax, South Florida Dawn, GGG. Let's go. Listening from Sydney. Appreciate you, Jason, Ronnie. Ronnie, you should have just waited for me, bro. I took that hour and 7 minutes of that I Am Athlete episode and chopped it into 18 minutes, and it's all the good Waddle footage, and it's all the Dolphin-centric tough. I literally trimmed all the fat out for y'all. It's literally, we're going to play it, and y'all are just going to get the pure Waddle and the meaningful content and the Dolphins content out of it. Other than that, I trimmed all the Jamar Chase stuff out. I trimmed out all the fat. I literally made it purely Dolphin. Like, I should literally re-upload it because it's purely just for Dolphin fans. So I went through, I edited all that stuff for y'all. And we'll go over that. I want to go over that because there's a lot of interesting stuff in there. So I want to go over that. Reminder, center big board is coming this week. Tackle big board is coming next week. I think I'm going to sneak the first film study in there too. I'm going to drop the Tyreek Hill film study first, and then I'm going to drop Terron Armstead, and then I want to do looking back on Jaylen Waddle's rookie season. So, I think I'm going to drop this Tyreek film study probably next week. I'll work on it this weekend, chop it up, working on it this weekend. And then with only tackles really to go, I'll probably have that out for y'all next week. So maybe we'll have between the big board and a film study next week, plus all the other content. And then I want to get Terron Armstead out. But that'll probably be, I'll be down in Orlando, and I'll be in Miami too for a few days. But I'll be down there between May 1st and May 11th. So when I come back, whatever film studies I don't have done, I'll just drop that for y'all. So, and then I got a couple other ideas that I wanted to do that's going to require chopping up and editing film. So we'll do that. You'll see what I mean. But some film work is coming up after draft season, and I want to drop the first piece of it during draft season. Tyreek, I'm excited to do that film study, so I want to dive into it and get it done for y'all. What up, Innis? How you doing, man? Tyreek, what's going on? So yeah, like a lot of stuff coming over the next couple weeks, and real content, not just like living off what the news provides. I want to get back into the rhythm of that. So We'll be dropping that, and then when I get back from Orlando, we'll keep it rolling with because I got some other show ideas I want to do. Like I said, that's going to require film, so we'll get into all of that, man, and hopefully the reappearance and the reemergence of Martin. I know a couple of people have actually asked me with Reuben Foster. I haven't heard anything about Reuben. To be honest with you, I haven't even checked in. Showtime showing up with a bunch of eye emojis. What up, bro? I haven't even checked in on. If you want me to be 110% honest, I kind of unplugged this weekend, so I didn't even check in on Reuben Foster or anything really this weekend. Reason I know you got the 4-1-1 on the Waddle versus Hill race. Well, bro, it's gonna be Waddle, Hill, and Mostert, bro. What's good, Irving? It's gonna be I think it's gonna be a 3-man race. Guys that can at least run 4.3. You already know what it is. What up, Kenny? How you doing, dude? King Z305. Innis. Great question, Innis. Thank you very much. Great question, Innis. Love it. Because I actually saw some people talking about this today. So, okay, you can literally, I'll offer you Twitter savvy folk. You can search, I'm pretty sure you can search Dylan Moses and my Twitter at, and you'll see this so I ain't choking your chain. So I liked Dylan Moses pre-injury last year, but then there was a couple of Dolphin fans who will go unnamed. They're people, some of them they think they're draft gurus, but they're really, and scouting gurus, but they're really not, on Twitter. They were trying to say, oh, Dylan Moses, 5th round. And I was like, guys, he's not even going to get drafted this year. I was like, he's not going to get drafted this year. The injuries have not only piled up, but if you notice, he had a lot of issues with his game. His eyes were very undisciplined. His lateral movement was clearly not what it used to be. His sideline speed was suffering. He just wasn't that guy anymore. He was a shell of himself. And what happened? He went undrafted. And then he just got cut by the Jags. And I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. I would sign Reuben Foster before I signed Dylan Moses. I don't think Dylan Moses is going to be anything at the NFL level. Too many injuries, and it affected his athleticism, and his eyes were, he had some of the most undisciplined eyes I'd ever seen on tape. So if you go, listen, let me put it this way. If you go and you watch Dylan, if you go dig up the All 22, which I'm sure Bama All 22 should be pretty easy for most of y'all to find. I have it, but go find as much Bama All 22 as you can from the last year on the defense. Legitimately, I'm not choking anyone's chain. I'm not over exaggerating. I'm not saying any of that. And I'm watching my thing dip right now, which is not good. Listen, if you go and you watch that 2020? Yeah, because we're 20 because he's 21 draft, right? So 2021, 2020, yeah, 2020 film. If you go watch his 2020, whatever the freaking his last year was, it's 2020 to 2021, right? That's his last year. If you go watch his 2020 to 2021 film, being specific, if you go watch that, I'm not even lying to you, it's some of the worst linebacking film I've ever watched in my whole life. It's literally some of the worst film I've ever watched from a linebacker in my whole life. Like, even someone who doesn't know to break down film will see how undisciplined his eyes are. It is bad. Like, it is awful. They clearly drafted him off of what he used to be, and then they wanted to get him in the build. Well, sorry, they signed him as a UDFA off of what he used to be and see what they could do. And then they waive him a year later, and it's the Jaguars. Hell no. I'm good. Dylan Moses, negative. I would sign Reuben Foster before I even consider Dylan Moses. Dylan Moses, I don't think will be anything in the NFL. I will be shocked. I would be absolutely shocked if he's anything in the NFL. So, Yeah, I had to because I saw a lot of people were coming through. Yeah, shout out to the Tua Live crew, baby. You already know what time it is. Joe Robbie, Showtime, Innis, all those guys. Dante Hightower is a free agent. I think the problem with Dante Hightower right now is money and age. Newfoundland. Yeah, I'm guessing you're Canadian because Newfoundland. Appreciate you, sir. So yeah, I saw Joe. Where is Joe Robbie? Are you in the comments right now? Where's Joe Robbie at? This guy out here taking people to church on Sundays on Twitter. Mr. JDM, I just answered. I haven't heard anything on Reuben Foster. I haven't even checked in the past couple of days. I kind of unplugged this past weekend. So, we'll see how it goes. I expect, I think money is what's holding them right now. I don't expect any big moves. Like I said, I think Debo will be a Dolphin, but I think Debo will be a Dolphin next offseason. I don't think it'll happen this season. I've been saying since the rip, I think they're going to draft Alec Lindstrom, I'll say that probably makes even more sense now that they haven't made a move on a guy like JC Treader or something like that. Reason, do you think Foster's injury past is an issue or contract demands since nothing from him? I don't think it's contract because I think that guy's probably willing to accept the veteran minimum. I think it's just a matter of you've been out of the league and, maybe it is the issue. Maybe the injury is. We don't know if they've taken medicals, right? So we don't know if they've taken medicals. If they've taken medicals and they didn't like what they see, So remember, workout videos are just workout videos. They don't mean Jack Bo Diddley. So that's how I see it. Yeah, smash that like button. Subscribe if you are new. Showtime, you better pause with that comment. I need a pause in the comments from Showtime right now. This guy. Are you serious? Come on, Showtime. I love you, bro, but I need a hard pause on that in the comments right now. This guy. This guy coming through. I think Preston gonna. I think. Listen, again, McDaniel saw Preston light them up against light San Francisco up a couple of years ago with Fitz. I think he's like, I can do something with this guy. I think he's like, I can do something. I make something happen in this offense with this guy, and especially, I guarantee you he's on the minimum right now. I guarantee you he ain't making nothing worth writing a home about. So, I mean, we didn't even get the contract details. And usually when you don't get contract details, that tells you that the person isn't making very much money. We are getting hammered right now on this. I'm literally watching my internet connection go boop, 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 boop. And that worries me because I've got clips I want to play. All right, let's roll into this. Topher says, "All right, I'm here. You can start now." Yeah, let's go. Here, you know what? 1 second here. Give me 1 second, guys. Boom. Lowered the quality, but I can already see where my internet's going tonight. And I'm not, homie ain't playing that game. So we're going to lower the quality for tonight. Let's see how it works with playing these vids for y'all. Let's get that all lined up. All right. So that said, let's get into this for y'all. Let's start off, I guess, and I can already see the quality dipping right now. Let's get into, I guess let's start off with, a couple of articles here, and we'll hope this will straighten itself out, and then we'll get into all the Waddle and I Am Athlete stuff and all that jazz. All right. All right. So first of all, it was pretty interesting what some NFL execs were saying in regard to our offseason. Again, this is behind a paywall with The Athletic. So I thought I would bring it out for y'all and show y'all exactly what was said in this article here. You know, it basically said the Dolphins can now threaten defenses underneath with Jaylen Waddle, over the top with speed receiver Tyreek Hill, and up the seam with tight end Mike Gesicki. Within the context of a Mike McDaniel designed rush offense led up front by tackle Terron Armstead, these are two huge changes. These are huge changes from where the Dolphins were a year or two ago. With the speed they have now, adding Tyreek Hill, they aren't going to see 8 in the box that much more anymore, an evaluator said. Their offense has a chance to be really explosive, and it's really going to help Tua Tagovailoa. Armstead's addition was also notable despite obvious injury risks. Great leader, great guy, another exec said. Their locker room is going to be better with him in it, but they have 3 years of guarantees in the deal. I mean, that's crazy. Optimism is not universal. And this is where the intriguing part comes for us Dolphin fans here that I thought you guys might be interested in. They took Waddle, who was a real deep threat at Alabama, and turned him into a possession receiver who gets like 5 yards a catch, 9.8, an exec said. I'm assuming all the fantasy sites are adjusting their Tyreek projections down a lot. Other execs marveled at how the Dolphins pivoted from it, but that's coaching, right? Like, and that's not really whatever the exec said. That is a lazy take based upon it's a whole new staff. So you're holding judgment against this team when the staff isn't even there anymore. So that whatever that exec is, I don't know who you are, but that is like a pretty ignorant comment. Other execs marveled at how the Dolphins pivoted from an organization that traded talented players for draft choices into one that is now trading draft choices for talented players. One joked that the personnel staff will be watching the draft with their feet up on their desks after trading 5 choices to Kansas City for Hill. They've spent a ton of cash there, the exec said. If this team does not make the playoffs, I see Miami doing 2 things. They will trade for an established quarterback, and they'll also be back in the big fish game for a head coach. Listen, I think we can all agree that if this thing doesn't work out in year 1 of the McDaniel regime, they're probably going to move on from Tua if he's underwhelming, underperforming, etc. But they will not move off of Mike McDaniel unless this team is like 1-16. They will not move off of Mike McDaniel. Do you know the message that will send around the league? Again, who are these execs they're talking? Are these the assistants to the executives? They will not move off the head coach. I've been telling y'all, and I'll tell whoever this exec is if they ever happen to come across this episode. McDaniel is not tied to his hip. Did McDaniel want Tua? Yes. When you hear about the whole cut-up thing, McDaniel, when he put up his cut-ups, when he's talking about how he has thousands of cut-ups. Well, he put up a cut-up sequence together to show what he wants to do with Tua in his pitch. So he's visibly showed them what he wants to do with Tua. And he showed Tua what he wants to do with him. So, again, McDaniel will not be out the door. It will be Tua will be the one who's out the door. Sean Payton will be going to the Dallas Cowboys. So let's get that out of here. Listen, and we inquired about Sean Payton, but we didn't even talk to Sean Payton. We got denied. We got blocked by the Saints. He will go to the Cowboys. Why do you think they're hanging on to Mike McCarthy for next year? That's where Sean Payton will go. So Mike McDaniel, they will not get rid of Kyle Shanahan's most coveted pupil when all of his other pupils that he coveted to any extent are either playing in Super Bowls or winning Super Bowls. Stop. If Flores got 3 years, suffice to say, McDaniel will at least get 3 years. Come on. I want to know who these execs are because you've already interviewed 2 ignorant ones. The Dolphins acknowledged interest in Sean Payton before hiring McDaniel. If Tom Brady does not redo his contract, it does not take a rocket scientist to know that Brady and Sean are going to be in Miami next year, the exec said. Brady, okay, listen, I'm going to tell you this. First of all, that is a freaking loaded statement. If Brady does not redo his contract, okay, what if he does? And I don't think he won't. But second of all, you're just acting like this year is a formality and it's a foregone conclusion that Tua is just not going to perform and they're going to move off of him. Says who? Is this the same exec that was just quoted the 2 times prior? Because if it was, I'm getting to the point where this guy doesn't know football. Now, if Tua flops, if Tua falls on his face, sure, Brady's an option. But again, Sean Payton is not going to be, I'm sorry. Sean Payton is not going to be our coach next year. Let's get off that. It's early for that kind of talk, you think? McDaniel hasn't coached a single game. Hill hasn't run a single route. Tagovailoa hasn't had a chance to get comfortable with any one play caller. Tua had a defensive-minded head coach who changed coordinators, and that is the worst thing you can do for a young quarterback. An evaluator said. Now he has an offensive-minded head coach who is loving up on him, who is going to give him a run game. And he has 2 4-2-5 guys on the edges with a tight end that can go down the middle of the field. They just loosened up opposing defenses dramatically with the Hill trade. Whoever this was is the exec I want to hear more from in this article regarding the Dolphins. Who's this executive? This is the one that this whole article should have been talking about, not just us, any team. This is the most level-headed answer we've gotten out of how many scroll down so far. Are we serious? I was getting nothing but jabroni quotes, and now we get a decent one here. And this one makes a sense. Listen, all the things he listed too are why if Tua falls on his face, he's gone. So, and the actual author of the article, thank you for bringing some sense after talking to the execs with the too early that kind of talk. Thank you. So, listen. I think they will go an established quarterback route if Tua falls on his face next year. Again, I'm on record. I don't think Tua falls on his face. I think he will give you top 12 play at the position. I think we're going to start seeing Tua reaching towards the ceiling a little bit here. I think you've only seen his floor. I think his ceiling is far higher than Jimmy G's, and we saw what McDaniel could do with Jimmy G in that offense. Plus, there's more speed than that offense ever had. I'm not overly concerned here. So, and Sean Payton, let's put that to rest. Sean Payton will not be the coach of the Miami Dolphins. So, that's just what it is. I don't know what else to say. All right. All that said, you know what? Let's get into the I'm Athlete cut up that I did for y'all. What did I do? Well, I took all of the Waddle and all of I took all of the Waddle and I took all of and I cut it out, and it's only Dolphin centric. It's only Waddle centric. And we're gonna go off of that. And again, so let's bring this up here. Give me 1 second, guys. One second. Oh, I actually cut it down to 15. I actually cut it down to 15 minutes. I lied. It's even less than I thought. I also want to say shout out to Christopher. One sec here. I got a donation I got to go through here. Shout out to Chris Sanders, Topher for the donation, man. Appreciate the donation, my guy. Appreciate it. Thank you, sir, for the $20 donation. $4.99 donation from Hermes. Talked about Ruben yet. I feel like if we can get him at 90% ability and low price without any problems, he could be a huge help. What a stud. I agree with that. I agree with what you're saying. I think he could be a huge help. I think he could be a huge stud. But it's going to be all about cost. So give me a sec, guys. I want to reset this internet here because I'm only getting 2 bars or whatever. Unless you guys are cool and I just roll through it. You know what? Let's roll through it. Shout out to Nathan for the $19.99 donation. Apologize. I'm waiting for this freaking Thunderbolt to come in still. So, all right, let's roll with this. Here it is. All right, let's roll.
Wide receiver teammate, Tyreek Hill.
Oh, okay.
Tyreek Hill, the left tackle. Now, Tyreek talked about
That could be deadly.
he wants a race.
Let's go.
He has to establish his dominance as the fastest man on the team. Are you open and willing to accept that challenge?
Look, I already knew this was coming. As soon as I seen it, I'm literally in the middle of workout. My trainer come like, man, I just got Tyreek Hill. I'm like, I'm running around the gym. I'm like, okay then, whatever. But boy, I think the next day I say, man, I know he gonna try to race. Let me get on these legs real quick. Hit the
I need
legs.
that on
I'm like,
video.
I already knew that was coming. Yeah, well, we for sure gonna.
I need
already
that
know
on
it's gonna
video.
come. I don't know if it's gonna be like in front of people or.
He the fastest I done seen in person or played against, and that's hard.
We got a running back, 23 miles per hour too.
Oh yeah.
Morster.
Yeah, y'all got a real track team now.
So I know he gonna get in on it too. So
Let's
it's
go.
gonna be a track meet for sure.
I need the
we
video.
for sure gonna race. I already know.
How
it.
much do you think all of that speed is gonna?
Okay, so Mozart 4.3, Waddle's in between 4.25, 4.27. Tyreek's a 4.2 guy, and I know Lynn Bowden. Nick was telling me that Lynn Bowden's been clocked in the 4.3s at Perform. I think it was like 4.37, 4.38.
Try to open up the offense for the team.
I ain't gonna lie, like it's one thing you can't coach, like speed, shit unmatched. You don't really got no answer for that. You can try to game plan for it. You can try to, ain't nothing like one. It's going. So I feel like it's gonna open up everything, from in the backfield, from the running game, passing game, play action. I'm excited. I'm excited. It's
Let's
gonna be
go.
a learning experience, but I think it's gonna be fun.
Even though it's still early, I know Mike McDaniels is offensive-minded coach, right?
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to get any snippet or just a idea what the offense is going to be like? Since I'm assuming
I know
it's
Tua
gonna
has
be
had the
different this year?
playbook for the past couple weeks, about 3 or 4
I think
weeks.
you just look back at all the teams that he's been a part of. Like he was in Atlanta, he was with San Fran. Like just go back and look at it. I feel like it's a system that's established and had success. So I think he's gonna kind of complement, but you know, different
Let's
weapons,
go.
different teams. So I feel like he's gonna add his own mix to it
Different
and try to
weapons
work
is
with what
right.
we got.
So
Listen, he just said what I've been telling all y'all. There's going to be a learning curve. There's going to be an adaptation period for defenses and defensive coordinators with this outside wide zone scheme coming. And now you're adding in this speed. Again, 2-4-2 guys on the boundaries, a 4-5 guy up the seam. All right. Then you got a 4-3 guy out of the backfield in Mozart. Then you got a 4-3 guy out of the slot in Bowden. Right? Then you got a 4-5 guy in Cedric and a 4-5 guy in Chase who kind of move like they're 4-4. They don't really move like they're 4-5 in open space and on the field. So, I mean, this is going to be difficult for defenses to deal with. This is not going to be something that, all right, we've got enough guys with that kind of speed. I mean, just look at the receiving core. Just look at our top 4 guys. 4-2, 4-2, 4-3, 4-5, moves like he's 4-4. How many defenses out there do you know have guys that can move like that? Like, we're not even talking about what they would need at the linebacker position. We're not even talking about what they would need to cover running backs coming out with from the from the edge or linebacker position. How quickly those got to move. Those guys got to move. They've got to be good athletes, especially if you want to cover them in the flats, or else it's just going to get the ball in the flats and go right around you, hard around the edge, and they're going to whip on tackles. So it's super important. The conflict this defense is going to create is going to be next level. People need to realize that. I will not be shocked if we can score points at a relatively nice rate early on. That's just my opinion, man. All right, let's keep it rolling.
If he didn't have a honeymoon season, I mean, things went right for him from the time the regular season got there. This man, you know, they started
off
1-7.
Oh, but look how they ended though.
Oh, that's important too.
Yeah.
But the whole time, your quarterback is under controversy because the head coach is trying to go get another quarterback.
Was it the head coach
But you
or was
can't
it
worry
the
about
person
that.
that's sitting all the way at the top?
That's something as a player.
See, I would
something
love.
as a player, that's something that's out of your control. You can't worry about that.
But you telling me the distractions don't impact you and your
No,
team?
No,
it's still
right
football.
now.
We gotta
at the end
get
of the day.
paid. I gotta
think
do
that's
my
a media
job. I got a
narrative that
job
they
to do.
create where you think distractions bother you. Man,
Really?
once you inside that building and your
What?
safe haven and that green grass between them lines,
It's
all
free.
that noise don't
It
even
don't matter.
He on the
At
side right
all.
there.
Yeah.
Hold on. So you telling me that y'all didn't have no conversations about Deshaun Watson as a team and the month-long pursuit of Deshaun Watson while Tua is there winning games for you?
So did we have a meeting?
No, I mean, no. Y'all obviously they had to address it in the meeting.
Yeah. Hey guys, we ain't worrying about the tour. I mean, we ain't worrying about the Deshaun Watson situation. Let's keep winning games. That's how the conversation go. What else do they got? They ain't gonna tell you nothing else.
Like
Yeah.
Chad said, like, I feel like it do be a media thing. Like, then this be on in
the locker room.
In the lunchroom, you be like, so it really be a media thing. Once you go into that
Florio.
locker room, going down that practice field,
Florio.
it's business. All
Florio lived off Deshaun Watson. Half of his clicks last year off.
So
this
nobody
Watson
talking
stuff.
about it.
Now he's
Yeah,
just shifted
probably
to
talk
Tom
about the
Brady.
locker room going out. You know, you got your pad, you got your helmet. But that's not a
Clown.
distraction. The media creates it when there are issues or there's arguments on the sideline or something goes on in the locker room. Media, a distraction, man. Don't care. Oh, I'm sorry. People don't care nothing about that. They don't care about it. As players, you know you have a job to do. Shit happens. We've been seeing it for who knows how long, and just media blows everything out of proportion. Everything, the smallest stuff. Tom Brady acting fool on the sideline is showing passion. Goddamn receiver acting fool on the sideline. Goddamn,
He crazy, yeah.
Shout out to Rhino for the $30 donation. Appreciate you, homie.
He's a distraction. It's a problem. No, it's football. It's passion behind it. It's like having sex.
You had to go there, huh?
When you see everything that happened with the team transpired in the offseason, obviously you thought the turnaround was probably going to save Brian Flores, and then it doesn't save Brian Flores, and then Brian Flores comes out with the lawsuit against the team, claiming racial discrimination against the league, racial discrimination against the Dolphins. What do you think
For
is
his
the player?
answer on this, watch Chad's
You know,
face.
me, I try to stay in the player's lane. Like, I try to let the higher ups be the higher ups, the coaches be the coaches, let the players be the players. So
Smart
I try
answer,
not to
Jaylen.
like
Look at
really like
Look at
get
Ocho,
into
like, don't say the
what's
wrong
going
thing
on
now.
up there or what they doing at the end of the day.
Good answer.
I'm gonna go
Jaylen.
out there and play with the guys in the locker room, not the coaches, not the
Yup.
higher ups.
Let's
So I
go.
try to stay in the players' lane. I trust in the organization just like I trust
God,
in
I
the
love
coaches
this
to
kid.
do their job and try
Wide
to do it
receiver
as
one. I don't
best they
care what
can.
anyone says about Jamar
That's just my
Chase.
take on it.
Yeah,
Talk to me.
Well, my goal.
Yeah, your
So
personal
now he's being
goals. I know
asked
you have your
about his
team
goals
goals,
for this
team
year.
game, blah, 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 all this they always talk about. But your personal goals for this upcoming season, top what you did last year.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I think my average like 9.5 or something like that.
Yeah.
A catch. I'm way more. You feel me? I gotta show some.
Don't worry, our
yak.
staff will
I
help
gotta
you,
be
Waddle.
a yak crazy out there. Like they had like 9 points.
You know why you averaged 9.5 yards, Jaylen? It wasn't because of you. It was because multiple reasons. One, coaching staff didn't know how to use you. They used you like a Jarvis Landry inside 5 yards for the first 8-9 yards of the 8-9 games of the season. Second of all, how many catches did you make in triangle, bracket, or box coverage because you were the only threat on the field? Tua was having to thread needles in box, triangle, and bracketed coverage to get you the ball because everyone knew you were the only threat. Okay? Jamar Chase had T. Higgins. Jamar Chase had C.J. Uzomah in the red zone. Jamar Chase had Tyler Boyd, probably the best number 3 in the NFL with that speed. And he had Joe Mixon coming out of the backfield. And guess what? We had the 32nd best worst offensive line, but they had the 22nd. And last I checked, 10 spots between each other is about a third of the league. So I would take 22 over 32 any day of the week. So Jaylen, you were amazing. You were phenomenal. Tua was amazing with you and phenomenal with you. And it wasn't your guys' fault where it was. It was scheme, lack of innovation, lack of manufacturing space, and let's be honest, lack of good coaching around you. Let's keep it rolling.
So that's definitely something that I know I got and something that I got to show. I ain't gonna talk too much about it. I just got to go out there and show it.
How much do you think you could learn from Tyreek Hill in terms of that run after catch? Because that's his.
And I will say, his yards per catch went up when Tua came back. And his yards per game went up when Tua came back. It was that streak that he had to deal with Jabroni Brisket. When he had to deal with Jabroni Brisket, that was what also hurt his numbers.
Specialty.
Man, I think I'm gonna learn a lot. I think I can learn so much. He been in the league, he's going on 7th year.
Brisket didn't know how to use
Has
it because he's a
tremendous success. I
jabroni.
think he's 6-time Pro Bowls, like been in Pro Bowl every year. I learned a lot from him. I know he's gonna be like willing to teach it. So, I mean, you can soak up all that game.
Good part is he's gonna get the double team.
Yep.
You're gonna be one-on-one.
Exactly.
So you should.
And that's what exactly. You can't even double Tyreek. You can't even double the guy. It's exactly best point so far.
Have a field.
I think I'm a creative offensive coordinator, and there would be no X. I'm just gonna move everybody around and create
Motion,
which I
baby.
hope McDaniels do with
That's what
y'all,
he's gonna
because
do.
man, I'm used to about 4-by-1. I'm sick of. I done already went on the women and said we win the AFC East division.
What?
Oh, the Bills fans killing me. Oh, they killing me. Oh, you think because you brought? Now, he ain't about. Listen, they told me Mike McDaniels is a great
Ocho knows
offensive
what's
coordinator.
up.
So therefore, his creativity with weapons like that, I mean, we should sweep through the division. I don't care what the Bills defense look
5-1
like.
is what I
We
said.
got Josh Allen, and we got Tua.
Woo! Woo! Tell him, Ocho.
Can I
Tell
say
him,
that? Can I
Ocho.
say that?
I don't know.
Tell him, Ocho.
From
We
Tua's
got Tua.
standpoint, obviously, he's gone through so much in his young career. You've been here for one of the seasons, coming back from the hip injury, taking over for Ryan Fitzpatrick, starting his 2nd year. I don't even know.
You literally can't double us. You literally can't bump and run us. You literally can't press us at the line. You can't do too high because we'll just kill you underneath with our speed underneath on drags, mesh concepts, etc., and out of the backfield. And then when we draw someone up top, we'll just go over to when we draw someone into the box, we're just right over top of you. We're literally in defense. I'm telling you. And then when you figure us out, do you even have the personnel? Like, the best chance of anyone figuring this out this year is probably Belichick on the second time around near the end of our schedule, I would assume. That's your best chance. And J.C. Jackson would have made a world of the difference because their best guy, Jonathan Jones, is a slot guy. Malcolm Butler, And then you go to their corners, Adrian Phillips and, Kyle Duggar, obviously all these guys. Sure, they got good guys and they got good bodies, but JC would have been the difference. I think without JC, they don't have the personnel, but they have the mind with Belichick.
Coach and Tua not having a close relationship. Now he's got a new coach. What's the start going to be like for him?
For him?
Yeah.
Man, Tua one of them guys that you just gotta be around, you gotta know to know his personality. Like, he's very competitive. That's one thing I say, but I don't want to talk for him, I want him to talk for himself, but I'm just gonna say he's very competitive and I like him. He one of them guys.
So he's always driven like that?
Always. I'm talking about coming in national championship,
Shout out to Ryan.
second half, throwing the game-winning touchdown. Like, not everybody just going in there doing that. Like,
Exactly.
got
Tua's
the
a
confidence
dog.
going there and do that in the biggest game of his probably career at that point.
Yep.
So, I think just look at a guy work.
saw that dog
and,
in fourth
and you know the
quarters
guy.
last
For
year.
me, that's one of the good friends. So when I hear people say this, that, and the third, I'm like, come on, dog. Like, y'all tripping.
I feel
There you go. Just literally called him one of his good friends. And on top of that, man, he's right. Tua got that dog. People want to deny it, but you saw it in the fourth quarter. Let's be honest. If it wasn't for bad coaching against Atlanta, he has another fourth quarter win under his belt. If it wasn't for bad coaching in the fourth quarter and basically all game against that Jaguars offense, you got outcoached by Urban freaking Meyer. Okay, Brian. If it wasn't, again, he did enough in the fourth quarter, we would have won that game too. You see the dog in the fourth. What we need to see is the dog consistently from the first to the fourth.
like they're trying to make him the new Baker Mayfield.
Who?
Tua.
Well, he doesn't have that type of persona, though.
No. In terms of,
He don't even talk that much.
so you think they make Baker Mayfield because he talks?
Yeah.
Yeah. He talk more shit than
You're the
anybody.
quarterback. You're not supposed. If you talk the way talk, and you got commercials
gotta
like
back it
that,
up.
you got to stand on it. You got to stand on that.
Hey,
So it's the commercial and the talking.
Yes.
It came from college. He had the moxie. That's the right word, moxie.
Okay.
It came that
That's
moxie.
why Johnny Manziel not in there.
Okay.
He talk. He talked this right on up out of there because he wasn't performing.
But my thought is the expectations that they're creating this perception that the Dolphins now, the Dolphins are just ready to win. It's just on the quarterback.
We are.
I don't necessarily
are.
agree with that.
This is one of the best rosters
because
we
he's a young
fielded,
quarterback.
Omar.
He's going into his third year.
Come on.
He got a lot of
He
tools
needs to
around
take
him
the
now,
leap.
though.
Yeah. I mean, so you think the tools create that
I'm
expectation?
saying we got a young
And
quarterback
I'm the biggest
too.
Tua
He
guy
used to
there
winning.
is.
Huh?
The tools
He's
make your
gotta
job
take the-
easier.
Exactly, Chad.
The proof
Thank
is
you.
in the pudding. He used to winning.
That's true.
SEC, national championship,
Didn't win it. Nobody won higher level.
national championship. Sound like something in the pudding. I don't know. I'm just saying. It sounds like something is in there. These guys who are used to winning, as far as quarterbacks, come in and win. They have a
Look at
different
Tua's record. That's
mentality
all I gotta
than
say.
a guy that's going to
With
from
nothing
Boise State.
around him. And no coaching
It's just a
staff.
whole different
We're
ball
writing home
game
about it.
mentally.
And he's Samoan, too.
Let's go
What
tell
they
him.
got to do with anything?
He's a fucking warrior.
Yes, Ocho. Yes.
Hey.
They might be laughing. Tell me Ocho's wrong. After what he's come from, after what he's put up with from this franchise and our past coaching regime, tell me he's wrong. After what he's come back from injury-wise, tell me he's wrong. Tua is most definitely a warrior. You tell him, Ocho.
With Tyreek Hill coming, obviously we talked about the things that he could teach you in terms of run after catch. But how potent do you think that the offense can be potentially?
I feel like it's gonna be different. Like, I ain't gonna sit here and try to, convince the world what's called, because obviously we got to work to get that stamp of being one of them, high power offense. But I feel like with who we got, if we put it together, we should be all right. We just got to work.
I had the Dolphins. You are a Dolphins beat reporter.
Tell him,
I
Ocho.
said the Dolphins winning the AFC East. Everybody jumped on my head. Your thoughts?
I agree.
They hired the right coach who will build the right system for Tua. I've always been a fan of that Mike Shanahan, wide zone, play action. You know, remember Jake Plummer? See, people, you see that face? That's the face that, for people who remember Jake Plummer.
From
Athletic,
Arizona,
mobile.
He went to Denver. Oh boy,
I remember
he was a
that.
different
Jake
quarterback.
Plummer was no slouch.
He wasn't out of slouch.
Than he was in Arizona.
And you didn't have to have unbelievable skill level to be an efficient quarterback in that offense. If you can run with power, if you run with efficiency, it'll open up the field for guys like with speed. And you have a quarterback who can facilitate all that, you win the money.
So basically, with everything you just said, they're winning the AFC East because you
That's
just
what you
said
got
everything
with Tua.
you need. You have a quarterback that can facilitate. You have a running back that can open it up for the receivers, and we got speed.
And
You
he's
got him,
Basically,
Ocho.
we winning the AFC East. It's okay. Go on the record and say it.
No,
Let's go.
Josh Allen, that dude, bro.
Come on,
Josh Allen.
stop.
You do realize
Jalen about
that.
to drop it
Josh
on him.
Allen.
Okay, he's
He's
that young dude, and no disrespect, but they haven't even touched the Bills.
Wrong, Omar, and I've mentioned this.
Like, come close.
Tell him why he's
We
wrong,
seen a little
Jalen.
dog fight that second game.
In the second half.
We seen a little dog fight. Don't
In
act
the
like we
second
was
half.
Hey, man, don't worry about it. You heard what that boy said. Help coming.
Okay. Jalen's 110% right. And like I've said for the past 2 years, it's not about the Bills having Tua's number. McDermott had Flores' number. We got out coached because Jalen's right. We shut down Josh Allen for the majority of that game, but we got out coached. That's the facts. We got out coached because Flores losing to Buffalo predates Tua. Call it the first teardown rebuild year. I don't care what you want to spin it. Last I checked, out of Josh Rosen, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Jacoby Brissett, and Tua Tagovailoa, Tua's the only one he had a winning record with, A. B, he lost to the Bills with those other guys on the roster, too. And McDermott, straight up, that's what it is. McDermott had Flores' number. It happens.
Help is on the way. It's gonna be a different kind of game with him down there with y'all, because he's gonna open up a lot. He gonna demand
5-1 in our
too high.
division. We are
So
going
the run
5-1
game gonna
in
be
the
different. Single, you're gonna be single backside. It's gonna be a whole lot different.
You talk trash on the field?
I'll be turned.
Yeah.
I'll be turned.
Nuh-uh. I don't. In college, you actually said that you thought Mac Jones was.
I knew this was coming.
Really?
I knew this was coming.
Nah, I always defended you by saying that's what you gotta say.
Right.
Cause you coming out with him, and that's what.
But I had to put my T down.
You-
All right.
Here we go.
I look at it like, all right, Tua's already been drafted. If I can say something to help someone get to where Tua at, why wouldn't I say it if Tua already? They was killing me about that.
You know what drove me?
And all you that tried to spin that into, oh, he means Mac is better. Well, we were out here trying to tell all y'all, no, man, he's just propping up the kid's draft stock. No. He means Tua is better. Blah 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 blah. Now what? Now what's your angle? Now that you can call Jaylen Waddle a liar now? Anyone with common sense and logic knew what Jaylen Waddle was doing. He's propping up his boy who had not been drafted yet. And guess what? It worked. Because without Devontae Smith, guys, Mac Jones was not talked about in the top 10 like he was until Devontae Smith and the Jaylen Waddle quotes came out. Go do the research. The correlation is right in front of you. They literally helped him. It worked.
Crazy about you? When you selected, you literally did this. You got drafted. Your whole family trying to celebrate with you, and you just like.
He's out. He's out.
What people fail to realize is like it's a production. So I knew, but the clock still goes on. Like, even though I knew. So I already hugged everybody, celebrated. I went over to Pat's section, celebrate with his family. So they like, hey, just sit back down. We want to get you when they say your name on the board.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
So they called my name.
Right.
We already celebrated. I was talking about it was more than enough time. Like, I don't think you hit the stage yet. Like, you think you still celebrate with your family. I already got the call, like. So I'm like, I'm get on, it's a good day, but I go back to the hotel, I'm trending on Twitter, like, #1, they killing me. They like, if y'all not getting it was a person, and then they had like,
oh man, you know what? If you guys have an hour and 10 minutes, I would recommend you going back and watching it. I know a lot of people don't, so that's why I chopped it up into, that 15 minutes for y'all. Just because I know a lot of people don't have that kind of time on their hands. So that was all like the Waddle, Dolphin-centric stuff. Hey, I love the kid. I think he's going to be better than Tyreek Hill in 3 years. I think he's going to be the best receiver in football in 3 years. I truly believe that, especially now with the staff we're putting around him and the guy who's going to be leaning off of and the chances he's going to get. Remember, guys, how Juju thrived when he had Antonio Brown. Remember how much Juju thrived when he had Antonio Brown. Well, Waddle's way better than Juju will ever hope to be. And he's got Tyreek Hill too. So it's going to be real. Jaylen Waddle is going to have 1,400-yard seasons under his belt as a Miami Dolphin. Quote me. He will have 1,400-yard seasons, receiving seasons. I'm telling y'all. Quote me on that. Hold me to that. I don't care. In case y'all missed it, just an interesting little thing here. Travis Wingfield did a great job. He had a chance to sit down with Marvin Allen. I wanted to go over this with you guys. He said some interesting things about Tua, Waddle, Raekwon Davis, and Robert Hunt. I gave you a little bit more of an in-depth of what went into the draft process regarding these players. So let's go over that.
Travis Wingfield. I'm joined here today by Marvin Allen. Marvin, welcome into our little set here, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
We're happy to have you on, and I wanted
Marvin Allen and Reggie McKenzie
just kind of introduce the fans
make
to,
up some of
who
the
you
best
are, what you do, and
front
kind of
office
the process
guys in the
behind
league.
all the stuff we're doing here in Indianapolis this week and all through the draft process. So why don't we go ahead and start with, what is your title and role with the Miami Dolphins?
I am the assistant general manager for the Dolphins. I kind of help in a lot of areas with college and pro. Scouting is dividing into two different sections. College, which is why we're here, which is, looking at college guys coming out, and pro guys, which are guys that are going to be free agents that we will, pursue.
So let's talk about a couple players you guys have brought into the program over the last several years. And why don't we go ahead and go to Alabama and start with quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. Just off the top, what are some things that really stood out about Tua's personality and his makeup that made you think that he was a fit for the Miami Dolphins when you first kind of started the process there?
Well, if you remember the way Tua first came into the game in Alabama, he came in and rescued him, in the championship game and just showed all the poise and, instincts and anticipation that you would want to see. And to do it at such a high level at the spur of the moment was just, that was phenomenal. And then we were able to start tracking him as he pursued his career. And then, to get to know him, through the years and just his leadership he's more of a leader by example, but he is
Which
a
we all
cool,
knew.
calm, collected customer, and he's really kind of like a lion. You kind of like,
Yes.
a lot of stuff rumbling on inside, and he just kind of takes care of his business.
What do you
This man just called Tua a lion. I love every single minute of it. And people need to realize there are different types of leaders, right? I talk about this all the time. I get what kind of leader Tua is. Reason why is because I'm a Pittsburgh Penguin fan. Sidney Crosby is very much in his young age, in his infancy at the NHL level. He was very much like this. He was very much lead by example. It wasn't until later on when he started becoming more vocal. So, that was just always how he worked. So I've seen this type of leader before, and I've seen it be successful. So that's why when people make these whole big deals about, Tua and his leadership, I don't worry because I know what type of leader he is, and I know he's a good leader.
I think some of the areas that he's shown the most growth in?
His believing in himself and his teammates. I think like some of the throws that he's been able to make, with, like I say, with his anticipation and accuracy, I think the guys, when they feel like they're going to be open. They know he can get them the ball.
Where have you seen him really grow in terms of on the football field over his 2 years here?
Well, I think learning the command of the offense. I mean, obviously coming from college where the offenses are not as complex as they are in the NFL, I think him learning, progressing in like reads and, what guys are going to be in a specific area and knowing who he can go to. I think he's learning those things.
One of the guys that he went to a lot last year was rookie receiver Jaylen Waddle.
Bills
also
fans are
Alabama,
scared
former
because we
teammate
got
there.
Tyreek
When
and he
you got a
kills the
chance to go
Bills.
through this process with Jaylen Waddle,
Literally
what
Kill
made
Bill
him
Volume
stand out
1 is
among all
Tyreek
the
Hill.
other receivers in that class?
Oh, his energy. I mean, I remember Chris
Waddle
Reed
does
and I
seem
both
very
went this
infectious
pro
to be
day,
around.
and I was able to meet him, and he was just a ball of fire, just energy, and then to see the explosiveness that he had on the field, that he carried that personality to match, and just
Let's go.
you're just like, this guy's going to be something.
It matches the personality of the way he
Yes.
plays. It's uncanny that way. So you first noticed the energy with him and the speed on the football field. I guess that's kind of a personality character trait too, but is there something else that you guys kind of uncovered about him? Because we know the high energy and the fun-loving kid, but what about from a work standpoint or just something about him?
Bobby, I'm
Well,
going to
just
make the
in general,
meme. Kill
toughness.
Bill
I don't know if
Kill
people
Bill's
remember,
Volume 10, and it's going to have
he got hurt
Tyreek
his senior
holding
year
the
and
sword
and he
instead of
wanted to
Uma.
come back to
Watch,
play
it's
in the
coming, I'm telling
championship game, and he was limping, but that's how much a competitor that he was, and it showed the toughness that he wanted to be out there with his teammates. And he's not the biggest guy in the world, but for him to be out there mixing it up with those guys after having that kind of injury just showed the kind of competitor that he is.
So when you were discussing the factors that weighed into whether or not to go to Waddle or somebody else in that draft, what ultimately was the ultimate deciding factor for you guys to make that selection there at number 6?
Lion King
Well, I
too.
think
I
just
love it,
his
Angel.
Explosiveness. You want as many playmakers as you can get on the field, and I think when you can put the ball in the guy's hands like that has really good hands, that it's going to catch the ball, A, and B, can make things happen once he catches it.
And that's what I keep talking about, the difference between what Tyreek Hill had behind him, right? McCall Hardman, Demarcus Robinson, those guys, they got the speed, but they're not good route runners. They don't have good hands. The best route runner behind Tyreek was Sammy, and he wasn't a burner. Sammy Watkins, and he wasn't a burner. He's gone now. And then obviously, I'm not talking about Travis Kelce. I'm talking about the receiving core. Tyreek's going to be living in a different world too. He's never had this speed, but also speed that can catch footballs. I mean, 4.3 guy like Bowden who didn't drop a single pass in 2020. Waddle broke the rookie reception record. Cedric, pretty damn sure hands. So, that's the difference. There's a lot of sure hands. I think. Everyone knows I thought Waddle was a damn near elite route runner coming out, and he proved it last year. Go look at the Marlon Humphrey tape. Cedric's a really good route runner. So, and Lynn Bowden is getting refined as a route runner. So that's the thing too, right? We got better route runners with better hands that are more dependable with more speed spread along behind Tyreek.
Those are special qualities in a receiver, and I think we all saw it, and we were like, hey. And then having a relationship with Tua, that really helped because the familiarity with those guys was really special.
Let's stay at Alabama and go on to Raekwon Davis here, another player in the same draft class there as Tua Tagovailoa back in 2020. I think there's
the Bills choke more than a newborn trying to eat a can of peanuts.
Probably an obvious answer here. Maybe it's different, but what about Raekwon stands out
Stop,
most when
Bills
you guys
fans.
met him in the draft process from a physical stature?
Well, from a physical stature, he's huge.
Exactly. Yeah, not a surprise, right?
I mean, you would think this guy's supposed to be like in the WWE or something. I mean, he is huge, and he is really athletic for a guy that size. You really don't get a chance to see that combination of that kind of power and explosiveness and athleticism with a guy.
Raekwon's special, man.
What did you guys learn about him?
Chris Jones 2.0, I'm telling you.
His passion is kind of second to none. He's
Hopefully
got
his development
infectious
continues.
personality. If you ever get a chance to meet him, you can hear him before you see him, and he is just a wonderful person. I mean, he loves to play football, and that's the kind of guys you want on your team and build around us. So when you've got guys that are that athletic and that big that love to play, it's only good things can happen.
So he's big. He loves the game. What about from a technical standpoint on the football field? What really stood out to you guys about him?
Well, what we wanted him to be able to do was anchor inside, and when you're that big and that strong, it was just natural. It was a natural, progression. And
what do you think from a character standpoint made him really a good fit for the Miami Dolphins?
He's selfless. I mean, this guy will go in and just eat up blocks and not try to, play outside of the defensive scheme. And that's really things that in our defense, the front line needs to be able to hold blocks at the line of scrimmage, and he's selfless. He could probably go and make some plays, but he's holding blocks for other guys to make plays.
What about some areas you think he needed to grow in that he has shown that growth in?
Coming into our system, he had to learn to play our scheme, like with his pad level playing, because he's so tall. He's 6'6", so you're naturally towering over people. So we had to get him to learn to play with a better pad level, and kind of anchor things, and he's taking everything well.
Let's go ahead and get off Alabama here and go to the Raging Cajuns and Big Rob Hunt. You talked a little bit about the journey that Raekwon made to the National Football League. I know Rob had a pretty unique path to the NFL as well. Can you speak about that process for him?
Rob is a little different. He was special to me because I was able to meet him when I went to the University of Louisiana to scout him. I just kind of fell in love with the person, and being a guy this big and that athletic, and then he was scheduled to play at the Senior Bowl, and I think he was injured, and we were kind of glad he didn't because
right.
Nobody else got a chance to see him, and it was like our secret, and now everybody sees it.
So I'm curious because this is
Well, we done there? Woo! The Wi-Fi is losing. So, just quick little stuff about what Marvin Allen had to say regarding the Miami Dolphins. Couple picks in 2020. Some interesting things. Obviously calling Tua a lion. We're all here for it. But today was just full of crazy, crazy good quotes. Between him being called an effing warrior, between now being called a lion. What else is there for this man to be called? Except I know what some people out there want to call him and try to call him. But hey, it's it was pretty interesting stuff. Actually, no, that wasn't Wi-Fi. That was actually I had an issue with a website trying to do something. So let's one other thing I wanted to show you guys. I thought it was pretty interesting that that two, the Dolphins official and a TV report both had to happen to have the same clip in it, just from different angles when talking about the Luau with Tua. I thought it was kind of interesting, so I wanted to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, that wasn't a Wi-Fi issue, boys and girls. That was actually a Chrome issue. So let's check out the first one here. I want you guys to see exactly what I'm talking about. Here's the TV report.
For the first time, the Tua Foundation was able to bring the Luau with Tua to South Florida. The Hawaiian culture, the food, the music, all on full display for a star-studded event.
See, Dan Marino, Dan, you don't even got to invite Dan. Dan just walked in. Oh my gosh, that's Dan Marino.
The pool area of the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino transformed into a mini Hawaiian island. The event helped raise $25,000 for Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Miami and Broward County.
The turnout looks great. It almost looks like we're in Hawaii, over here. So it's great just to have family and friends and a lot of people that care about giving back to the community.
Some of those giving back
watch what he's about to say.
Included teammates Jaylen Waddle and Jalen Phillips, as well as head coach Mike McDaniel, who one by one learned a thing or two about Polynesian culture.
Watch me sound like one like this.
for a brief moment, McDaniel went from head coach
Shout out
to
Fred
Hawaiian
for
warrior.
You got it.
You can tell the support of Tua's teammates and coaches meant the world. His goal since starting his foundation has been to take care of the communities that have taken care of him.
To be able to have our OC, my quarterback's coach, our head coach here in support of this. To me, I've never witnessed that. So we have all three of those guys here.
If that isn't so damning and so indicting from such a polite guy, I don't know what is. I want you, and wait till you hear the other clip I'm going to show you. There's a little piece they left out. Because here's the thing. We all said it on Twitter, and we'll say it again. Flo would never. Ever. And let him know that it wasn't just Flo. Let him know.
And to have my teammates here, I mean, we hang out at my house all the time, so I'll probably see them at the after party.
That was fancy.
By the way, I see him in the comments. Shout out to the homie Bobby Shouts. Go follow him on Twitter. He just dropped a video trailer. I actually can't share it because it's got like TV footage in it, or I'd get demonetized. So go check him out. It's in his pin. It's his pinned tweet on Twitter. Go check him out. Now the second one that I wanted to show you guys here. Okay, let's check out. That's a news report. Here's the Dolphins official one. This is the Dolphins official one. So this is the Dolphins PR department and all that.
The turnout looks great. I mean, it almost looks like we're in Hawaii, over here. So it's great just to have family and friends and a lot of people that care about giving back to the community.
It was incredible having our inaugural Luau With Tua here in South Florida. I mean, he's been talking for years about wanting to give back, wanting to help kids in underserved communities.
That helmet was
fire. As soon
fire.
as he got drafted, he said, listen, we're going to start the foundation and we're going to help kids in the 3 areas that have impacted my life. And that's Hawaii, Alabama, and now South Florida.
Having an event like this is extremely important to me because growing up, giving back was a big thing. I see my parents give back. I see my parents give back. And it wasn't just to their communities, it was also to places that have helped them become who they are today. And so that's kind of what the Tua Foundation is being able to give back to the places that have helped me get to where I'm at today.
To have my teammates involved, I mean, that's the most important thing, more important than anything else. So it's great.
I think it's just important, support your teammates and what they believe in. So it was just easy when Tua asked me to come out. I think just being a public figure, especially being a quarterback, he's the face of the franchise. So it's important for him to get out and be important and make an impact in the community.
Unity!
I wasn't able to hold something like this.
All right, I'm going to start what he's about to say right over again. This is the Dolphins recording the clip you just saw of him throw the shade at Flores. Now let's see what he says again. And he starts off with something that the news people clipped out. Listen carefully.
In the community.
I wasn't able to hold something like this last year. To be able to have our OC,
why not?
My quarterback's coach, our head coach here in support of this. Oh my gosh, that's Dan Marino. That's awesome.
I'm just saying.
I had no idea they were going to do that to me. They set me up for failure, but I hope I was entertaining at least.
He started this foundation when he was 22 years old. I don't know how many other 22-year-olds, one, even think that way and actually do it, to start their own charitable foundation. And it's always been in his heart. And every time we say, hey, Tua, what should we support? Who should we support? Kids. That's really the thing that comes out of his mouth. I want to support kids.
In our Samoan culture, we say
no, Ronnie, they did it in Hawaii last year.
Which means thank you very much.
I'm just
While
trolling.
The foundation is
Flores
just getting
fans.
started. My
They
hope
did it in
is that we will impact the lives
Hawaii
of
last
children
year.
in the most positive way. But by being here tonight, all of you are helping the foundation in its mission of making an impact in the lives of others.
No, I don't think Flores shut down the luau, but Flores wouldn't have been as involved as we saw. Let's be honest with ourselves. But they did in Hawaii last year, if I remember correctly. So I think it was already planned there, to be honest with you. I was just trolling Flores fans. And then to close out for tonight, a couple other things I got to go over here. Pro Football Talk continues spinning this narrative, which I mean, I just bring you guys the news. I don't say it. And basically what he was saying was Buccaneers and Dolphin fans have something in common. They both hate the ongoing reports regarding the fact that Tom Brady would have been Miami bound, but for the Brian Flores lawsuit. We posted several items on the topic, starting with the news that the Dolphins are planning a Tom Brady, Sean Payton package deal. We've added more details this week, including a plan to make Brady a minority owner. Ben Volen of the Boston Globe has also reported another interesting wrinkle in the saga. Via Volen, Brady would have gotten a position high in the Miami front office, similar to the job Derek Jeter got previously with the Miami Marlins. The Flores lawsuit filed the same day Brady announced his retirement stopped that from happening. All of it, no Peyton, no Brady. So hold on. What are you sitting here? Now all of a sudden he would have been our president of player personnel, our quarterback, and a minority shareholder. Like, what's the report next week? He's going to be the owner. We're going to offer him to be the full blown 51% ownership here. Like, we just keep adding here. It would have been interesting to know whether Flores timed his fine to blow up the Brady Miami boondoggle. Many think Flores decided to pull the pin on his civil complaint as a reaction to the accidental text message he received from Patriots coach Bill Belichick congratulating the wrong Brian for landing the Giants head coaching job. Maybe Flores sued when he did. Maybe Flores sued when he did stick it to the Dolphins owner Stephen Ross, keeping him from getting the outcome he coveted. Listen. This is the new one that they're going to try and spin. And it's going to take Brady coming out and just shooting it down. And Brady, do us all a favor. Come out and shoot it down. I ain't trying to hear this for another 4 months. Sorry. And then finally, actually some good news for Dolphin fans. Something to, laugh and chuckle at. The New York Jets, guys. The Athletic's Mike Sando reports the Jets have been turned down by several free agents this offseason. An NFL executive from that same article I had shown you guys earlier told Sando that the Jets were on a ton of guys and got nobody, including Tyreek Hill, who chose the Dolphins over the Jets when Kansas City granted him permission to seek a trade in March. They don't have a selling point to players right now, the executive said. People don't know what to think of Zach Wilson. Players don't necessarily covet playing in the market, and guys who have choices tend to wind up elsewhere. They are in this weird purgatory. New York this offseason has signed second and third tier free agents like Tyler Conklin, CJ Uzomah, Laken Tomlinson, and Jordan Whitehead, while failing to land a splash free agency signing despite a plenty of cap space. An improved performance from Zach Wilson in 2022 would go a long way in luring big-name free agents to the Jets next offseason. It would be exceedingly difficult for Wilson to be worse than he was as a rookie. So there you go. A report actually saying that a division rival's quarterback play is holding them back from getting free agents. While last I checked, everyone's coming here for this. Terron Armstead, Tyreek Hill. Hell, Tom Brady apparently wants to come here. You know what I mean? Connor Williams came here, no problem. So I know Jets fans were like, but we got Laken Tomlinson. Yeah, but how much did you have to pay Laken Tomlinson? No one was going to pay Laken Tomlinson what you paid Laken Tomlinson. So enjoy. It's all yours. All right? It's all yours. Enjoy every minute of it. All right? Guys, the Jets suck. The Luau With Tua was a success. Jaylen Waddle was awesome, and I highly recommend watching that I Am Athlete episode. And appreciate Marvin Allen for giving us some insight on some of those picks. Just another day in Dolphin land with the Jets sucking and all those good things happening for us recently. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to be back tomorrow night. Guys, smash that like button. Subscribe if you are new. We are only 11 away from 7,600 last I checked. Doing a quick check while I got y'all here. We are currently as it loads, we are currently closing in on 7,600. We are about 9 away right now. So let's get some new subs going on. You already know what time it is. Listen, I appreciate each and every one of you for coming out. I will see all y'all tomorrow. You already know what time it is. Until next time, everyone stay happy, healthy, safe, and blessed. Appreciate all y'all. Fins up all day, every day, baby.